Previously on Bleach.
You know, there's a certain sport I excel at.
What's it called?
Competitive bitch toss!
Hey everybody, Tekking101 here to review Bleach chapter number 561 entitled The Villain. Oh yeah, those villains be illin' because Kensei's chillin'. I don't know, I don't like rap. Anyway, before I begin though, I just have to address a very important comment I got in the last video. Questioning the fact as do I wear pants when I'm doing these because you can't see anything below my epic suit and jacket and tie. And the answer to that question is... yes, though usually they're very cozy pajama pants because it's usually very cold in this room and you gotta review in style, you know what I mean? Like Ace has the awesome kimono. I mean, that thing's pretty relaxing and comfortable, I would imagine. But anyway, where I figured from last chapter, I did not think Kensei would be out of the fight just yet. He seemed pretty tough, so I just didn't think just getting knocked into the building would just, you know, automatically knock him out or whatever. Then again, we've also had scenes in Bleach where characters just got one-shotted, like with Ukitake, and you think they're not going to go down because it's only like a one-shot. Like, of course they're not going to go down their captain level, but then they're out of the fight for the rest of the entire arc. Sorry, Ukitake. Haven't seen him yet in this arc, have we? No. Not ever since the second invasion of the Vandenreich. We saw him fight against one random Sternritter like 30, 40 chapters ago, and I don't think we've seen him since. But anyway, so after getting knocked into the wall, though, Kensei immediately activates his Hollow Mask and then charges toward... I'm just kidding. No, that would make sense, right? But he does get back up, just kind of cracks his neck in an epic fashion, and charges toward Maste Masculine like a boss.
Like a mouse!
Even though Maste Masculine's back is turned from that epic pose he struck last chapter, he can still, I guess, sense Kensei coming and activates his, I guess it's Hyorin Kyaku, and uses it to appear right in front of Kensei and uses Star Ego Kick right in his freaking chest cavity. Oh, God, he is not going to be eating spicy food for the next couple of weeks. Or any kind of food, I guess. Star Headbutt!
Does every move you have start with... What a ripper!
Alright, now, because Kensei has received 3 direct attacks from this guy, he's bleeding, he's on the brink of unconsciousness, now is the time he activates his Hollow Mask and launches a Sero right in his freaking... No, it isn't! Of course not, it isn't! Kensei, you do know! You have access to that mask thing, right? You know? 3 minutes maximum? I mean, considering your current health status, probably not that long, but hell, Ichigo could even manage a 10-second battle just to throw the fucking thing on just to get a chance of opportunity. I mean, really. But Kensei does sort of kind of get the upper hand when he activates his Bankai, transforms his knuckles into more like a protrusion type brass knuckle type deal, and states to Maske Masculine, "Don't you be getting cocky." Cue epic zebra music! Yeah, you thought Kenpachi was Bleach's version of Zebra? Oh, no, it's Kensei all the way. So an epic explosion happens in the sky after Kensei activates his Bankai ability, causes the explosion. Down on the ground, we have James still shouting at Superstar to get back up and do your best. Still, I guess Shuhei lost consciousness yet again. I mean, really, the dude is like little... Okay, he's on the fight, gets knocked down by Mask, gets knocked unconscious, then he wakes back up, tells Kensei that, you know, you have to attack James, and then falls back unconscious, I guess. We don't even see him in this freaking chapter. Anyway, we cut back over to the fight, and Kensei's attack did jack diddly to him. Oh, okay, that just kind of mildly pissed you off. Hey, how about we do that again, except this time I have a Hollow Mask on, and then maybe I'll... Holy Jesus, that's grisly! Smarty in the house! The fuck was that? Nothing, it's just, I was trying to figure out a catchphrase, but I guess that's a fail. No, sorry, it didn't work. Well, yeah, whatever, we have bigger things to worry about. Did you not see the condition Kensei's in right now? I know, dude got fucked up, jeez. I know, it's like he has a third shoulder. You know, can you, like, you're smart. Do you know any way he could fix this, or medical treatment, or anything? Huh? Oh, right. Well, In my professional opinion, given the force of the blunt trauma to his cranial cavity, the amount of blood loss, and the compound fracture in his right arm, I recommend about 30 cc's of suicide brick. No suicide brick. Oh, I never let me use the suicide brick. Oh, you have an arm, you use it! Suicide brick. Anyway, okay, now, Kensei, you're lying on the ground. You have a compound fractured right arm that is completely useless to you. Your Bankai's effectiveness has just been cut in half. You are on the brink of death here, my friend. Now, do you think would be a good time to take your left arm, put it above your face, and in a swiping motion, drag down the hollow mask, which will allow you to fucking stand up? Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Sorry, I'm done. I don't care anymore, Kensei. I do not care anymore. I lost so much respect for you right there. And you know, you can't even justify that. I know somebody out there in YouTube land is going to give me a bunch of justifications on why he didn't use his hollow mask. The only thing viable I can think of is that he's too beat up, and that's the reason he can't use it. But we've seen visors get beaten there, like the shit kicked out of them before, and still throw on the hollow mask, at least for a couple of seconds. That's all it would need, just for him to stand back up, launch a Sero or something. I mean, and the hollow power is what makes them more stronger against the Quincy's. That's their edge, because it's like a virus to them. We've stated this before. Damn it! Alright, so after Master Masculine just freaking pounds Kensei into the dirt, he's finally unconscious. He's not getting back up for at least a couple of months. We then have a shriek of terror from behind Master Masculine. He turns around and we see James there, impaled on freaking Rose's Kinshara thorns, and then just boom! That dude is deader than a pile of shit. And last time I checked, piles of shit don't exactly have a lot of life functions going on. So I would assume he's not standing back up. Master Masculine shouts in anger that his fallen compatriot, how dare you scum kill an innocent fan like that? And Rose is actually looking pretty, you know, okay, despite the fact getting kind of like bitch palmed by Mask in the last chapter. Maybe he activated his hollow mask or something, you know, who never knows, right? Well, anyway, he states that he had to finish him off to make sure that his power doesn't at least get any stronger than what it already is, and that's kind of a big, like last chapter I mentioned, like I didn't know if the cheering from the crowd makes Master Masculine like twice or three times as strong and it just stays at that level, or if it's just like he hears cheers and that's like a spike in his power. But in this chapter, since he's been able to beat down Kensei so easily, like last chapter, one punch from the dude in that just standard brass knuckle form was enough to knock him down in like constipated agony. Here he uses a stronger amped up version, and that he just able to block it with a hand, so like, or his blued vein or whatever. So I'm assuming that cheering makes him several times stronger just the more he hears it. But that's beside the point right now, because James is gone, and Rose just cuts right to business, and he's like, all that time that Kensei gave him go to waste. Bankai! Oh, okay, Rose's Bankai. That kind of makes up for the disappointment of Kensei getting more beat down than a cow at a slaughterhouse on a Tuesday night. So, his Bankai is Kinshara Butodan, and it summons 16 creatures that are made up after Kinshara's whip's form. So, like, their body resembles the whip, and their heads resemble that flower peak on his head. I have a theory of why there's 16, and remember back when he fought against Stark with Love, he used Kinshara Sonita number 11. So, it was stated that Kinshara's blade had at least up to 11 attacks. So, I'm just going to go with the limit being 16, like different musically sound-based attacks, and that's why it takes the form of 16 figures, or like I don't even know what to call them. Like robots isn't right, clones isn't right, just marionettes, I guess. Let's just give it like puppets, I guess. Let's just use puppets with these two epic hands in the sky, which I'm not really sure what those do. I guess that would just add to the marionette puppet effect. Like these hands in the sky are like controlling them, and Rose's whip itself transforms down into like a conductor's wand, and he's like conducting the madness. So it is a very unique Bankai. I'm loving his Bankai. It goes with the whole, you know, like the musical theme, and it really took it to the next level. And so Rose goes on to explain exactly how his Bankai works, and he states that this is the acting troupe of death. and their cost of admission is your life. So basically, I guess using the hands in the sky and his conductor's wand, he's able to send these guys on to attack his opponents in these different designated types of attacks. With that in mind, he states that the first act of this play is called Sea Drift, and that sends all of the puppets in like a circular motion swirling around Maste Masculine like a bunch of Indians chanting around a fire, like, Oda, 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 and that's like summoning like a giant fucking water typhoon swirling around Maste Masculine that closes in on him and basically traps him in this water vortex. Follow that up, Rose states the next stanza is called Prometheus. Okay, you know, I've been making a shit ton of DBZ Abridged references in this video. I admit that, I know that. My collar has been turned up. I didn't even know that the entire video. I apologize. But I know I've been making all the Abridged references, and I was really gonna stop after the whole Kensei concussion count thing, but my god, they are just making this too easy for me. I mean, I could just imagine this scene. Rose against Piccolo, and Rose is like, "So, Piccolo, what do you think of the second stanza of my Bankai?"
I think God's gonna sue somebody.
Get it? Because Prometheus is the movie by Ridley Scott, and it was kind of confusing, but a lot of people liked it. Kind of a prequel to Aliens, sort of, maybe. I didn't really understand. Kashikoi has arrived! Okay, dude, that was really kind of just pathetic. Can someone come up with a catchphrase for that guy? Please, comment below. Catchphrase for Smart Tekking, please. Aw, that's so sweet that you care about me. Okay, whatever. Did you come here for a reason? You know, we're talking about Prometheus. I guess that's what you're here for? Ah, right. Yeah, anyway, you do know that Prometheus was not invented by Ridley Scott just for that movie, right? He was actually a Roman titan. He was originally the creator of man out of clay. And the funny thing is that Zeus actually punished him because... Question? Yes? Does anybody care? Well, if you care about Roman mythology, I suppose, but other than that, I really can't find any real-world applications for this kind of knowledge. Okay then, bye! Right, of course. Where did I put that brick at? God, that guy is such a nerd, am I right? It's a sight gag. Laugh, this cost me $400. Okay, so, Prometheus, the second stanza in Rose's play of the dead, activates the puppets, basically igniting Maste Masculine on fire with these huge-ass fireballs, and Maste Masculine is just shocked by this and states that, wait, what are you talking about? This Zanpakuto, it can't use water and fire. No Zanpakuto is that OP, right? And Rose says, actually, yes, you're correct. My power is simply sound. The sound that's entering your ears, I guess, is being emitted by the 16 puppets, and basically it can control your illusions. But if you believe in the fire that's burning you, you will be burned. If you believe in the water that's trapping you, you will be trapped, essentially. So it's kind of like a mind over matter type deal. I should probably mention here, though, if anybody thought that Rose's Zanpakuto is a little bit too OP in this chapter, like, in its Shikai alone, it can apparently have up to at least 11 different attacks, plus his Bankai can basically control your opponent's mind and cause them different injuries based on different kinds of elements. We haven't even seen all the stuff it can do. But if you think it's OP, go to the Bleach fanfiction wiki and check out some of the Zanpakutos there. Yeah, the standard there, and I'm not complaining, I'm not saying that everybody over in that fanfiction wiki has Zanpakutos like this, but you'd find the majority have like 18 different Shikai abilities, and then after they go into Bankai, they basically have a power that's just short of summoning a supernova to kill everybody, with an additional 15 different power-ups on that one attack. So, yeah, if you think it's OP, go read some fucking fan fiction. Alright, so Rose is about to finish this whole thing up right here. He raises his conductor wand in a fashion way more epic than Beethoven or Mozart ever could hope to accomplish, and is about to deal the finishing blow when Maste Masculine holds his hands to his ears.
Now for part 2 of my master plan.
You destroyed your own eardrum?
What?
Oh god, okay. Probably should not have told him about the sound thing until a lot later. Oh god, I'm missing a spine.
What?
What? No, Rose, you pansy. That is not how you take a hole in the chest. What happens after you take a hole in the chest in Bleach, even if you're a human, is you have to stand up for a couple more minutes, talk about how much your decision sucks, finally collapse on the ground, stand back up, only to shout your undying love for the one man crush that you ever had in your life, and then finally die in a more epic, morally ambiguous pattern about how you discovered the true meaning of life and known existence. That's how you fucking take a hole in the chest in Bleach, you If he ever shows up again, and he pulls that bullcrap again, I am going to take a fucking plane to Japan, go to your house, and beat the living Where's the suicide brick at? It's okay. It's alright. I would have killed myself just now if we didn't have my favorite candy in the house. It's a sight gag again. Okay, so, ending of the chapter, Rose just got a star-shaped hold right in the center mass. So he's down, leading Maste Masculine to chant about his epic victory once again, not really having much of a sympathy factor toward his fallen compatriot James, so I guess he didn't really give a shit about him that much, really. He was just kind of there as a, basically a stamina booster. He's basically his Phoenix Down, kind of, if you ever played Final Fantasy. So now, Rose, however, despite not being a human, does have some immunity to getting a hole blasted through his heart, spinal cord, and most of his lungs, so he's kind of squirming on the ground a little bit, which results in Maste Masculine launching another Death Laser Makan Sepalepica directly at Rose's path, which is blocked in the last page of the chapter by Renji, activating his Shikai and stating, "I am the villain."
What?
Okay, so that's the end of the chapter. So Renji arrives on the scene, Shikai activated, ready to take down Maste Masculine, which I kind of figured would happen because he kind of got beaten down before, way back when he fought against him and Asnot, and Byakuya was there also. So I kind of figured since Renji arrived so close to Maste Masculine, he would go after him. So, yeah, really, at this moment, I just want to question, what are you guys' thoughts on Maste Masculine's power, all told? Like, how many more attacks does Maste Masculine have? I mean, I know, it's just random, because the chapter before, it was just like punches and kicks. That's all it was, or like headbutts. Now all of a sudden he has like a whole cavalcade of attacks, plus he can launch a fucking laser beam from his head like a freaking pacifista. That reminds me of something. I've seen so many anime and movies. I know that it's like a guy that's focusing his head like this and launching a laser out of his head. I know I've seen that shit before, but I cannot think of it. I thought it was pacifista, but no, that was out of the mouth. You know, I thought that was the special beam cannon from Piccolo from DBZ, but that was out of the hand. He just charges it like this. I know I've seen another attack like that, so if I'm not crazy, let me know. But now, for next chapter, I think finally we're going to get a, you know, an evenly match between Maste Masculine and Renji. I mean, it was kind of disappointing to see Kensei get beaten down that easily, because it was funny, because Shuhei and Ikaku first take him on, and then they get beaten down pretty quickly, and then Kensei and Rose show up like, oh yeah, we'll take him down, and then they get knocked down, and then finally Renji shows up. It's like, okay, I guess I gotta mop up all your guys' problems. This guy's really annoying. Once again, it was just a full chapter of just one solid fight. I love that. Kubo, I take away the previous statement I said that I was going to come to your house and beat you up, but really, the whole Tsukishima thing was bullshit. I just want you to know that. But yeah, so I was happy with that. Another solid fight. Next chapter, we wrap it up. We make it like a nice 3-part chapter where Renji finally takes down Maste Masculine, and the next one, that would make a lot of sense. Now, some people might be saying now that James is dead, he can't get any stronger or his power is limited. Like I said in the last chapter, if his power was the superstar and he just had the ability to get stronger to hear by hearing cheers, then by that logic, any of the Stern Ridders, even some of like the foot soldiers, could just show up and be like, Master Masculine, you can do it, stand up. You know, I'm not sure that's going to happen, but I'm just saying he was very vague exactly what like the cheering had to be, or how long it had to be, or what effect it has on his body, and we didn't get much of that elaboration, or any of that elaboration in this chapter at all. So, you know, in that regard, though, I think Renji's maybe not going to show off everything he gained in the Soul Palace, but I think we're going to at least see his Bankai, see what that can do, because we still haven't seen his Bankai, even from after the time skip we haven't seen it, and I think Kubo even stated at one point that after the time skip, his Bankai's already changed form a little bit, and plus his training in the Soul Palace, so he's got that on his hands. Rukia, I would assume, is going to take down Asnot, just because Asnot was the one that beat down her brother, of course, Byakuya, Byakuya is still in the Soul Palace. He's probably not still recovered yet, so I would feel pretty happy if he took down Asnot. You know, you could be saying, like, if Rukia took down Asnot. I mean, Rose's Bankai, I was really happy with the way it was presented, the way it works, and there was, like, much more of elaboration on exactly more powers it could do before Rose just decided to get the attack by the Exposition Fairy and reveal his main crucial weakness to Maste Masculine. So, I mean, this is a guy, like I said, brawn over brains. You know, Rose says, my power is sound. You know, it can attack, you know, because it's illusions, and if you believe in it, like, everything after Rose said, my power is sound, Maske Masculine just blotted out of his memory. Oh, power sound? Okay, pop. You know, he's the kind of guy that's going to take rash actions like that, but his Bankai was pretty cool. I also like the idea that they were, like, basically like an acting troupe, like they're being played as actors in a play that Rose is conducting. That was a pretty clever idea. I could totally see, you know, Rose should really just leave the whole Shinigami thing, since he's clearly not that great at it. He should just head off to Broadway, you know, partake in musicals. Like, I like to see renditions of, like, Jersey Boys, Book of Mormon, Wicked would be really good with his acting troupe. I think he can really pull the numbers in. I think he can really drive in those foreign investors. Yeah, next chapter, Renji versus Master Masculine. I would honestly be surprised if we saw any other fight. Maybe at the very end we could see something. But other than that, really cool chapter, really fun. Tekking signing out. Yeah, see you guys.